What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Pepe. Me and Storm Cloud hanging out talking about Krist Novoselic in our Nirvana saga today. He's a very interesting person in his own right. He has a lot of opinion. He's a great bassist, first of all. It was him and Kurt from the beginning. He was always soft-spoken, extremely smart, intelligent person. They met like early in school when they would like be in homeroom together reading like punk rock magazines, and that's kind of like how they started becoming friends and wanting to form a band and stuff as they got older. And he was kind of one of those people that seemed like, to me, I don't pretend to know their relationship at all, Kurt and Chris or Kristen or anyone else from the band or anything like that, but it seemed to me like they were genuine friends growing up, and they were friends first before band members, and that I think is pretty cool. But Chris is almost too soft-spoken sometimes, it seemed like to me. I know he had that elevator rant or escalator rant or something about pot or something, which is kind of funny. It's still on YouTube, but he kind of just stayed in the shadows, kind of, I feel like, intentionally. He almost didn't want to be a rock star in a way. Like, not that he was along for the ride, because he contributed to that band so much, but just never caused drama, really, especially when they were switching through all the drummers and everything. And Kurt did all the songwriting and everything, and I think Chris kind of just was like, let him go. Like, he recognized his genius, and like it's almost like he has, you could tell by like in his interviews, and like he has these thoughts and he has these feelings, and he says them, but he doesn't really elaborate too much. And I just think he's very soft-spoken. I think he's got a lot of things about, I don't know, I almost get the sense of like maybe he feels guilty about Kurt. Like, maybe he could have done more, and I don't think that he should feel guilty, and I could be dead wrong, but I just feel like Krist Novoselic is a very interesting human being, even beyond the music, and like it's like a philosophy with him in a way, like he thinks about like life, and he has his interest in his hobbies, and I think when Kurt died, a big part of him died, and he never, like, he knew him his whole life pretty much, and like, yeah, like Dave Grohl was a band member and everything, and like they were friends and they toured together for years and stuff, but it was like Dave would just kind of like, well, the thing about Kurt you need to understand, and like he kind of would get a little too like, all right, man, like, you didn't know him that long. And Chris would just be like, and when asked about Kurt, he's like, he just shouldn't have done that. He could have done anything he wanted to do. Like, he should still be here. And like, that's kind of all he says, and it's kind of all that needs to be said. I guess that's all at least Chris needs to say about Nirvana. And I think it just hurt too much to play music, because he stopped playing music at 25. I know he was with a band called Flipper briefly with their bassist. I don't know exactly the extent of that, but I think he was briefly with the band called Flipper from the 90s. And I know he does tours and stuff. Like, he'll do guest appearances with the Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl, and at the like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he played bass with Paul McCartney. It was good to see, but like you could just tell like it just hurt him too much, and he could have started his own band. I think honestly, Krist Novoselic, I think, could have and still could do a solo album, and I think that would be a really good solo album for if Krist Novoselic just put together something. But he got into politics. I think and which is fine. I'm not hating on his life choices or anything. I just think he experienced all that at such a young age, and you see what happened to Kurt, and you see the scars that maybe you're carrying around with Krist Novoselic. But I love him. I think he's fantastic, a very interesting human being, yeah, he's a great musician. It's a shame that he kind of stopped playing when Kurt left, tragically. But Krist Novoselic, I think they had a great friendship. I think it maybe strained towards the end, just because, and maybe Krist, and I could be dead wrong about this, maybe he was always kind of like he was timid because he was afraid of getting kicked out by Kurt, maybe, in a way. Like, I'm seeing drummers go left and right, like I better just like maybe not talk that much or say stuff, even though you could tell he has a lot to say. He's a very intelligent person. But all right, we're getting to the meat of it. I got one video left, and then we're going to talk about the rock god. I don't even need to say his name. All right, Planet Pepe, everyone, take care.